But you should be able to do this with only one hand. The bike's doing most of the work. I'm just kind of pushing it along for a ride. Here's a quick look at adjusting the motorcycle without being on the bike. Same situation here. We definitely want to be careful with our footing and our traction. You can go ahead and grab both hand grips. This is kind of similar to mounting your bike. You can squeeze in that front brake to help you. You can straighten the bike up off the side stand, turn those bars nice and square. Then you can go ahead and fold that side stand up. If your bike is especially heavy, you can actually leave that side stand down. In the event you kind of lose your grip on it and it wants to fall over, you can allow it to fall right onto that side stand and catch it for you. Then you can say hi to Doggo. Then you can go ahead and start walking your bike. You're going to want to let that front brake out so that it can move. Now just keep a nice good posture with your body just like before. Keep a good grip of your bars, and you can start to move your front tire in the direction you want to go. So good habit, turn your front tire first, then just one big step at a time. Start walking your bike. Once you reach an obstacle or an area that you're happy with, you can turn the front bars the other direction. And then just slowly, one step at a time, walking the bike back, turning it around, getting it into a position that you feel good with. As you're doing this, the more straight up and down that your bike is, the easier all these movements will be. If you start leaning your bike over towards you too much or towards the other way, then all that weight of your bike's going to want to fall in those directions. So make this easier on yourself. Get your bike straight up and down. You can move yourself, your body closer to the bike, get in a good position where you have balance and good control of the machine. Notice as she's doing this, she's keeping that bike upright. That'll help the bike balance on the tires and keep her from having to hold all the weight of the bike. Compared to what she was just doing, if she has the bike leaned over on her and now she's trying to move it around, notice it's going to be a lot more difficult for her. It's going to take more strength. She's trying to fight against the weight of the bike trying to fall over on her, and it's going to compromise some of her footing and her traction, and it's going to wear her out pretty quickly. This bike is a Honda Ropo 500. It's pretty lightweight to begin with, but if you're dealing with a bike that's a lot heavier, then keep that bike straight up and down. It'll help. Notice the bike's pretty straight up and down here. If I start to lean it too far over towards that way, then I'll notice my body's having to try to reach and keep control of it. If I'm leaning it too far towards myself, then I'm fighting against all the weight trying to fall over on me. That's going to make it a lot harder. So keep it here. It should be pretty easy for you to keep one hand on it. You can put one hand on the seat. You can move the bike pretty easily without much strength or effort. One thing I like to do is keep two fingers covering my front brake up here. That way, if I'm moving the bike along, maybe it starts to go a little too fast for my liking and I'm losing my balance or something, I can just gently squeeze in the brakes, stop the bike, reset myself, get the bars straight, get the bike nice and straight, take a breather. Then I can ease that clutch or that brake out, keep it covered, start walking again. But you should be able to do this with only one hand. The bike's doing most of the work. I'm just kind of pushing it along for a ride. Now, if you're on something like a incline, steep hill or something like that, then you can actually start the bike, put it in first gear, and allow that friction zone in that gear to help you walk the bike up the hill. Same thing if you're on a downhill, you're definitely going to want to cover that brake, keep control of the machine so it doesn't get away from you. As I'm backing it up, this is what I usually do. My posture, my chest is up tall. My head and eyes are actually looking behind the bike this way. Notice I look this way. I don't need to look in front of me. I'm looking this way, pointing my nose where I want to take the bike. Notice I can do it just with one hand. Once I get backed up as far as I want to be, then notice I point my head and eyes, look to my new destination over here. Then I'm actually turning the bars. You can also experiment with where you put your feet and your legs. to give yourself a good spot to stand next to the bike. Kind of right behind the foot peg here, lined up with your seat, is a pretty good spot. Allows you to be close and in control. Now I can just walk the bike, and I'm just looking where I want to go, head up nice and tall. Then when you get where you're going, you can use your foot to put that side stand down. Going up the
No, you can do it. We can show that anybody can do it. You just use the tips we just showed.
So lean it all the way over, right?
Yeah. Yeah, use one hand and just let it fall over. Yeah, look at that. You made it look easy. Good job. And that's how you ride a motorcycle.